Hello and welcome to Stars in the Dark. This is Stars in the Dark 2, session 3. We're in the middle of a score, so if for some reason you're watching this episode first, don't do that. Go back to the beginning or the beginning, whatever you prefer. But don't start here; it's a bad idea. Um, yeah, last session, our intrepid spies did some investigating, tracked a droid to a warehouse where there's some sort of delivery or exchange taking place. And our own droid spent some time at an underground fighting ring. Yeah, so I'll go through the wishes from last session. From Kai, the things in the cases should be something interesting. I hope you will find it interesting. And he wants to figure out how to get out of his hovel and find a better place to live. Mark wants to get into a situation where he can do some harm, use his assassin droid skills, find out about the droids. Stephen had that same second thing as well, and wants to find out what Elliot would think about what's going on there and what they're doing. Also looking forward to interacting a bit more with the other player characters. Rich just didn't want to spend the whole session on the mission. But yeah, I think we unless something weird happens, we will get into downtime this session. And for me, I wanted to think about maybe doing fewer rolls. I think I felt I slid a bit more towards moment to moment rolls than I prefer. But yeah, that's just something for me to keep in. Not a huge deal, just a reminder. Cool. So currently we have Rook, Hazy, and Winger watching this warehouse, while Elliot is still in Emerald Row, just been escorted out of the fighting ring and rather forcefully showing his displeasure at how he has been treated. So I want at some point to offer Elliot a chance to kind of catch up to the others if that's what you want to. I don't feel like that's sensible quite right away. I think we have to have at least a little bit of time pass. But I'm not going to keep you away from there just because, oh, it would take 2.5 hours to cross the city and whatever. That's not interesting. But yeah, Rook, KZ, and Winger, you have set up surveillance equipment, so you're like recording what they're saying in there, and you have a holo imager set up, so you can. I think the way I imagine this, you're not going to get like full motion, high definition pictures here, but you'll get like kind of the fuzzy, hollow sort of thing. Like you can see who the people there are vaguely, but you're not getting all the details about the environment and that sort of thing. That's my view of how this generally works in Star Wars. I'm always operating out of Star Wars is space, but with World War II level technology. So that's kind of you have a 1940s movie camera, that sort of kind of quality.
It would take a lot more Bothans to get more detail on the line.
Yeah, probably. If you had someone like really working on the footage, they could bring out more of it. They can enhance the image, but yeah, not right away. So you're seeing this exchange take place, and so what are you doing? Are you just going to watch? Do you wait to try to figure out what's in these spaces, see if you can see that, or are you going to take action? Are you doing something else?
I want to start by talking to Rook. I think we're side by side at this point, right?
Sure.
Or essentially, maybe.
Yeah,
you can be.
Yeah. And the point is to asking advice. I mean, we've gone beyond the job. We've got the recording of who's there. Should we just go? It's clean.
Yeah, but okay. My interest, I think what we ought to do is hang out for just a little while longer. If we can find out what's in that case, I mean, that could be major bucks. And if we find out what's in the case, we go back to our employer, they'll be really happy with us. So one way, it seems like waiting around for a little while is a win-win. If we skate now, then I think it's the difference between doing a good job and a great job.
But what if we see something we're not supposed to see?
We live in 1313. We're not supposed to see any of this shit.
Okay. Webbing crossed.
Do you want to leave? I mean, I'm not going to I'm not going to, break your legs if you leave.
Oh, no, Rook, no. I'm just thinking about the best for all of us, if they open up that and I don't know, like every gang in town is now looking for our heads, that's a lot worse off than being like, all right, job done, let's go.
Oh, you don't think every gang in town is already looking for our heads? I mean, if they could sell us out, it would be great. Just like us, we'd sell all of them out.
Okay, all right. Us being silly. Let's watch.
Cool. So KZ, I don't remember. Did you stay back at your speeder to watch it, make sure no one messed with it?
Yeah, I did. Most
Cool.
boring option. I took it. Sorry.
The devil's bargain was that if you left, it was going to get trashed. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Not that my character knows that, but I mean, look around.
Yeah. I mean, it's a rough neighborhood, so you're aware of the risk. But yeah, I think are you watching the warehouse as well? Are you looking for something else? Or are you
They've
just
got eyes on the warehouse. I think I'm watching the perimeter. Maybe I even troll around a little bit, just do a roundabout. Make sure that there's stuff out of there, where they are, what they have eyes on that sneak up on us. Anyone watching them watching the warehouse, that's
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That kind of sounds like a survey role, maybe.
You bet. My survey is a 1. I'm so proud of me that I have that.
Yeah.
Do you have any devil's bargains?
I mean, not sure. You have a suggestion?
No. Maybe because it's survey role, I'm going to be boring and just survey with the 1. Oh,
Let
you
me
have an
provide
idea?
a suggestion. Yeah, let's go off of what Winger said, which is if you're trolling around, moving around a little bit, maybe the local gangs figure out we're watching something.
Yeah, could be that you're drawing attention. We could set up a little clock for you.
Ooh, clocks.
You're so inconspicuous, you're suspicious.
Do we have another clock somewhere?
I'm going to, just for now, I'm going to use the clocks that are on your character tabs. Probably should set up a tab for it, or maybe actually do it on your crew tab.
I just thought during the last session, we might have set up a clock for something.
We did set up a clock for Elliot for getting kicked out of the club, but
That's what it was.
that happened anyway. So
Cash that one in right away.
yeah, yeah. I'll put it on.
I'll take it. Block it up. Here we go. 2 dice. A 5 with that second die. Yay! I was smart to do the thing.
Nice.
Oh crap! I don't know. Was I in a controlled or risky?
Oh, sorry. I think you're in a controlled position here.
Okay.
Standard effect. So
I'll
what
I'll do it. I'm fine to survey with a consequence.
Cool. Let's see. What would be the gang here? We have the red stripes. Let's pick those. So I'm going to tick that once. So we're going to do it with consequence. Minor complication, reduced effect. I think the fact that you want to keep your speeder in sight, that's going to reduce your effect a little bit. Like you can't go around the whole block. It's just you can go some ways down the street, you can go up some alleys and that sort of thing, but you have to stay kind of close. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So you notice that there's a speeder that has parked like at the end of the street. There's an intersection, so it's like a full block away. There's a speeder that has parked there across the street. No one has gotten out, and it looks fancy, not like a super fancy, but it's like it would be like seeing a car, like a black car with tinted windows on a regular street. It sticks out.
Got it.
And you've noticed that, and you're looking the other way, and you see another one of those coming in on the other side, like the intersection in the other direction. Now there's 2 of these.
I'll like grab the little. I imagine that there's a CB radio type Star Wars version with a pigtail cord to it, and I pick that up to reach out. Hey, Rook Winger, there are a couple of shady looking vehicles outside, speeders. Not doing anything right now, but just be careful. I'll let you know if anything happens, but be wary.
No one's gotten in or out?
Not yet.
Good job.
Brightens a little bit. It doesn't say anything back, but yeah, he's like, all right, rock
on. So Rook and Winger, you're watching the droids and what's his name? Rick, the droid you've been following. He pulls one of these like foot cube cases out of his one of the big trunks, and he like I said before, there's like a power readout on it, and he opens it up, and he pulls out, and I think I want a roll for one of you to figure out what this is, because this isn't something you don't think. Oh, sorry. Actually, maybe. Yeah. Sorry. I should look. Winger. Yeah, Winger. You know what this is. This is a droid brain. And it's powered up because of the case. So it's not shut down.
Okay. Do I know why it would be transported like that?
Presumably for you're not sure. You don't usually see things being done that way. It could be to make sure that there's no memory loss. Normally, like a droid brain that's in a droid body, it will have a power supply, and there will be some, even when the droid is powered down, there's like a minor power drain just to keep the memory banks going. So that's presumably what this is.
If nothing else, though, like if you ignore what's connected to it, that thing can supply a lot of power, right? Because it's huge, right? It had to be lifted on.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of them in there. It's like,
yeah. Okay. I thought this was like one giant brain.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, then I'm being unclear. It's these two big trunks. Each of them has like 15 of these pieces in.
Damn. Wow. Wow. Winger's kind of not completely speechless, but well, Rook, what do you think? Like wide-eyed.
Do you know what that thing is?
Yeah. UPS for droid brains. That's a score of droids on backup. I don't know what it's for, but the power is immense.
Cool.
That thing could probably supply a hospital or a tenement or something.
Well, it's not credits, and it's not something we can move. So I think we've done our job, right? So, think it's time to go? I think it's time to go.
Cool. Let's cut to Elliot. So you've been in communication with the others enough to know that, like, where they are and that sort of thing. How do you try to get there, if that's what you're interested in?
Yeah, so our guy is safely safely hanging out in there. Yeah, is there, I mean, unless there's some urgency, I think just kind of, walking or whatever the, equivalent of, I don't think I'm going to hijack something to get over there unless there's some immediate need for me to be in the vicinity.
Cool. So let's come back to you when maybe there is some urgency, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Cool. So Hazy, you hear like Rook and Winger, or you can see Rook and Winger like at the side of the warehouse. They're talking to each other. It looks like they spotted something. I'm not sure. Have you, or let's assume they've spoken on the comm, so you know kind of what's going on.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah. So you see these two speeders. Now the doors open. It's kind of like the silent like wing doors raising up, and there's people coming out. They are in kind of like they're clearly in some kind of uniforms. They look like security people of some kind, and they're carrying what looks like ion guns that you like would use specifically against droids.
Guys in unis, ion guns. Be advised.
How many?
I'll give a count.
There's 4 of them from each of these speeders.
4 and 4 coming from the speeders. They're working in concert. Be ready. Maybe back off.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be ready for us, and I think I kind of tap Winger on the shoulder, and we're gonna pull back. But we should. So I think I hunker down with Winger, and I kind of, get on my haunches, and I'm like, so here's the deal. Done a great job, but if we see who hit these guys, oh, I know what we should do. Let's see who's good at this. So how about I'm gonna watch, since you know what these guys are doing, right? Why don't you watch and just stay out of sight and let us know if kind of what goes down. Like, are they just gonna shoot these droids and then take them off, or we just kind of want to know? I'm gonna go tag their. Oh shit, no. Okay. I'm gonna go meet up with KZ, and I'm gonna see if we can't tag their car so we can, trace them back. So I'm gonna head over to where KZ is and be
Sure.
like, okay.
Like dip in and be ready to pick you up.
I'm not gonna get in the car. I'm just gonna lean over and haggle a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But what I want to get is I want to get where the cars are located, and I want to ask you, if I'm not mistaken, I used my surveillance equipment at the apartment.
Yes, I
Winger
will
used
mark that
his
and hand it over
gear.
to you. No problem.
Yeah, perfect.
And I put surveillance gear in the.
I see that. Thank
On
you.
the character sheet, so you have that.
Oh, I see that.
So the way I picture this is we have the warehouse. There's a street in front of it. You're parked like across the street, maybe like not right in front of the warehouse, but like diagonally across the street, so that you're out of sight. Like from if someone just walks out, they will see you, but it's not obvious that you're like connected right to that. At either end of this street, you have the parked speeders. So these security guards, they're moving briskly, but they're not running, and they're moving kind of towards you. So you're kind of in the middle. They're not looking towards you, other than like noticing there's someone there. There's a speeder there. There's a couple of people, but they're not paying special attention to you. They're not moving towards you. They're moving towards the warehouse. Does that make sense? Just to make sure we know what's going on.
Yep. So I think I'm gonna get the like a tag or something like that, like a radio transponder from KZ, and then I'm gonna check out to see which of the 2 vehicles is probably gonna be the easiest to tag, and I'll go plant this transponder on it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that should probably be part of the surveillance gear, maybe. Make a note of that for later. Yeah. So if you're going to go to one of those speeders right now, you'll have to like pass these one of the groups of guard security people, whoever they are. Yeah. Do you want to do that now, or do you just stay back and let them go past you and then sneak away?
I'm gonna let them use I'm gonna use the kerfuffle between them and whatever's going on in the warehouse as cover. So everybody's eyes, or all of their concentration, will be on whatever's going on in there. You describe them as having weapons out, like ion blasters kind of things, right?
Yeah. So
they're going in for mischief, and I think they'll be busy with that.
Cool. Yeah. So when they get closer to the warehouse, they clearly like form up like out of sight. from the warehouse itself, and then they kind of storm in, and they're shouting, stand down, stand down, and you hear ion blasters going off, and they one of them shout, "This is Industrial Automaton Security Forces, stand down, stand down." And the Industrial Automaton is a major droid manufacturer. They have they're not huge on 1313, but they have a maintenance and repair facility in the docks that you know exactly where that is, because you're familiar with the docks. So yeah, now things are kicking off. And Winger, you're right there, like watching the droids in there, like the Rick slams this case shut and puts it back in the trunk. The others, the 3 droids he was meeting with, they are pulling out blasters and start shooting. So it's a fight kicking off. Yeah.
So if I may,
Mhm.
industrial automatons, do they manufacture or do they only like fabricate and repair?
In general, they manufacture.
They do manufacture.
They are one of the big manufacturers in the galaxy. It's just
Okay.
on 1313, they don't have any major manufacturing here.
Okay.
In your particular area.
Okay. So to flashback just a little bit, I was thinking that while I was watching, that I would be doing my absolute best to quote unquote zoom and enhance, but like I'm trying to get either like an ID number or a model number or anything on one of these brains that would tell me who these hostages are.
Sure.
And like when I hear industrial automatons, I'm hoping that will be like a clue to be like, oh, it's definitely this and not this if it comes up or whatever. So I was going to roll study on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And Winger considers them hostages if that wasn't.
That is a 5. And you're in a controlled position here. You're not in direct threat. I would say you have standard effect. So you will do it with a minor consequence. You're not going to take any harm. I think your position, the consequence here is that your position becomes risky because now there's a lot of fire going on in there, and if you draw notice to yourself right now, there is a chance that someone will just blast you, or you could get hit by a stray shot or something.
I could resist that, but it feels like that's where the story should be, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so you get a good readout. You don't have time to analyze it right now, but you have the information.
Perfect.
It will take you some time to dig through it, but you have a very good image of that droid brain that Rick pulled out of the.
Okay, yeah, that one. Okay, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so let's get back to Elliot. Now, at this point, things are kicking off over at the warehouse. If you want to get there really fast, you will either need a fast speeder or some sort of air vehicle. Unless you have some other idea of how you could get there quick.
Do we think there's any cars for hire nearby?
Yeah, on Emerald Road, definitely. It will be fairly expensive to get a ride to the Warrens, because that's a seedy neighborhood. Most of the cabs or the equivalent here, they go just within Emerald Road, maybe to the docks, that sort of thing.
I think the easiest way for me to do that then, yeah, would be to flag down a speeder for hire, get in, and when they mention the fare, that's when the blaster comes out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a command, like take me there.
Command absolutely works. This is risky, I would say.
I'll push myself too. Why not? 2 dice.
Mhm.
Cool. Crit.
Oh, that's a crit.
Got a fancy pistol.
Yeah.
I think you got a driver for life.
Yeah, what do you think it is about this driver that makes him so willing to go along with it?
Maybe the driver is a droid as well, and he's just like,
Oh,
you don't need that, pal. We're on the same side.
yeah. Cool. I like that. Yeah. So he maybe you don't even need to pull the gun. It's just like, I need to get to this place. There are droids in danger, that sort of thing. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'm at the end of my shift anyway, and he just floors it. So you're going to get there in a little bit, but you are on your way.
Nice.
So KZ and Rook, you're outside the warehouse. You see this guard storm in. There's fire in there, blasters and ion weapons going off. Rook, you wanted to place a tracer on one of the speeders.
Yeah.
Cool. So you have an opportunity. You're definitely in a controlled position here because they are busy. So what do you want to roll that with?
I'm thinking prowl to sneak up on the car in order to place it.
Sure.
Do you have a devil's bargain?
Yeah, I'll take the clock here for the gang to show up.
Yeah, that sounds great. For another gang to show up, right?
Yeah, the red stripe. Yeah, the local street gang.
Okay, so I can take a devil's bargain to increase dice. I could also push myself to increase effect. Is that right? Yeah, I'm going to do that. What would be my effect normally if I don't push?
Standard.
Yeah, so
So if you push yourself, you're at great effect.
Yeah, I'm going to push myself. And
which I think will mainly affect like how hidden this tracer.
Yep. I got a 3.
Well, that's a failure, but you are in a controlled position, which means you can try again with a risky position, or you can withdraw and try a different approach. And I think try again with risky here is that you realize that they have some countermeasures. So you will need to get this. It's not enough to place the tracker on the outside. You'll have to get it like inside. You'll have to break in some way to get it in, or you can just withdraw, try something different, and still be in a control position.
So I think kind of what this looks like on screen is they've left the driver there. And whenever I get up close enough, there's no way for me to avoid that contact with the driver. So I'm going to try it again with a risky position. And I think what this looks like is I come up and I start like cleaning the windshield on the side, right? And making it a little bit dirtier with like part of my cloak and being like, just a credit to, for me to clean you up and I can get this car looking spotless. So whenever they roll down the window to kind of kick me off, that's whenever I'm going to see if I can't slip it inside. I'm going to stumble inside. So let's see what that looks like. I keep the same dice?
Yeah, you keep the same dice.
And do I also keep the increased effect?
Yeah. That's how I'm running this anyway. It's like you're in the same. You've already paid for that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to roll my 2d6 again.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a 6.
Nice. Yeah. So you do it. He rolls down the window to like shoo you off, and you can like flip this thing inside, slip it so it slips down beside the seat, out of sight.
And I think literally what this is I was cleaning, with that dirty rag, but I've got the tracker wrapped up in it. So when he kind of grabs a hold of me, I drop it down inside so it slips under the seat. And then I'm like, hey, it's okay, man. I'm just, just trying to make a buck.
Yeah, get out of here. I don't have any money for you.
Screw you. And I kind of wander off.
Cool. So KZ, are you just staying by your speeder, or you can see Winger like down in this alley beside the warehouse, like hunkered down there. If you didn't know they were there, you wouldn't be able to see that, but you know.
Wing, you need exfil? You okay?
Zap. It's getting a little risky in here. As it keeps looking in and out. You got any eyes on a pass out?
Yeah. I can make a path out for you. Let's go.
Oh, it's like in our previous season where like who was it that got caught in the alley and we like busted a way into to give them a way to get out or something like that. I can't remember.
That was Edema.
Yeah, Edema. Yeah. Sorry, just flashbacks to the game. Yeah, if you can, I don't want you to scuff your truck or nothing. You can be offended by the word truck if you'd like.
He's on job mode. Later though, he will remind you of her name.
Oh, right. I'll let's flash back and say that there was like a part of this building that we were like, hey, if we need to get you out, like go to this corner of the building or whatever, and I'll move there and hopefully not get shot on the way there.
Cool.
So I'm going to make a fortune roll just to see how things are going in the warehouse. So I'm rolling for the droids, and I'm rolling 3d6 for them. And their highest is the 3. So Winger, you spot them, take down like the 2 droids that were with this his name K3PX, the other 2 droids that were with him. They are ionized. They're kind of twitching on the ground. He's still firing his blaster rifle, but he's trying to pull out of there. Rick is like shoving these one of these big trunks on the little hover sled in front of him and trying to get out through the back. But they're kind of pinned down, so it's not looking good.
Well, since I'm going to run anyway, and I think it would behoove us that Rick makes his way out of here, I might need to do some covering fire, because if they capture this, it's going inside like, a deep dark cube, just like the prison, But if Rick can get away, then we might be able to offer services, or our client may be able to offer services and stuff like that, and that might enrich us. So I'd like to take some shots as I run away, if that's cool.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Is it cool to fire a blaster in Star Wars? So
it is. That's very
cool. Yeah. So I think your role here is both like, you're providing covering fire, but you're also trying not to draw attention, just to make sure that like both of those aspects are in.
Okay.
I assume, or are you just, I don't mind if they see me. I just want to fire a bit and then run.
I don't think that Winger's at that professional level of like thinking about like being spotted or whatever, being as big of an issue. So it's more about being effective than it is about being hidden. So hunt, I think.
Hunt absolutely works.
Okay.
For this. Yeah.
All right. If there's a devil's bargain, or if not, I'm going to push myself.
I mean, a devil's bargain is that one of them spots you clean, like sees that there's a chatter fan.
Yeah.
They get that. Not just a shadow by the window, but someone actually spots
Oh yeah. They get one of those like green photos with a circle around with little lines coming out of it. And oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll take that. All right, so I'm rolling 2d6 and run, Rick, run. Ooh, no good. Got a 2 and a 3. And I can't add them together.
No, sadly not. And this was risky in case that wasn't.
So now
obvious.
I'm desperate.
Yeah, so things go badly. Suffer harm or complication, lose this opportunity, or your position becomes desperate. So I think you get a choice here.
Okay.
You can stay, if you stay a little bit longer, you can be effective enough that you do provide some covering fire, but you will take a shot. You will get hit.
Okay.
Like definitely get hit. Not able to resist. Oh, sorry. I should. I don't think I should do it like that. That's not the way things work in this game. No. No.
Well,
sorry, because you have
consequences,
actually,
right? One getting shot and one being spotted. Oh, it's spotted as the devil's bargain.
You've already been spotted. That's the devil's bargain. And on this bad of a roll, then you do not do the thing. So you're not going to succeed. But I think, one consequence is that there's a blaster shot, like the droid spots something going on, fires off a shot in your direction. It doesn't hit you, but you get hit by some like splinters from the wall where you shoot to. So that's level 1 harm. That's one consequence.
Okay.
And the other is that you lose the opportunity, that you have to get out of there, because now you've been spotted. Some of these guards are like charging you, and you can't get away. So you can resist either or both of them.
Okay. I'll take the harm. And I will resist losing my ability to get out of there with insight and find a path that others couldn't in this situation.
Cool.
So this is on the -1D rung or on the less effect rung?
The lowest.
Okay. All right. So shrapnel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, less effect is cool.
Okay. And then I'll roll my insight to resist. Instead of run, Rick, run, it'll be run, Ringer, run. Okay. I got it at 5, so I will take another stress and GTFO.
Yeah. So Elliot, I think this is when you show up. A movie appropriate amount of time has passed. So this droid drops you off like at the end of the street. You step out, you see Rook. You're right across the street from where Rook has just dropped her rag inside this and being shooed away from the speeder. And you see Casey further down the street. And I assume, Casey, you've like gotten into your speeder in order to pick up Winger. Did I understand?
Yeah, I don't think I ever exited my speeder. So yeah, I'm in my speeder to go pick them up.
Yeah, cool. And you can see like there's a firefight going on.
And where's Rook?
I was like,
right,
I'm across the street from you. I'm
yeah.
coming back from where that the black kind of speeder is. Um, and I think whenever make eyes on you, I'm gonna um shout out a couple of slurs at you and head in your direction. And
Can I
I'm
just
gonna
have the
like,
speeder like pull up to Rook and like get in?
oh yeah. I'm gonna be like, how much? And as I get in, and yeah,
Mhm.
perfect. And are
Cool.
we just gonna leave?
Like it'll cost an arm. Get in.
And I lean forward as long as it's your arm. And I'm like, Elliot, actually, I get on the horn to KZ and I'm like, KZ, you guys out?
You coming, Winger? Everyone's waiting on you.
Winger jumps off the roof like Ghost in the Shell and flies down.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. So nobody's chasing you or anything. You can get out of here at this point.
I think we do a quick debrief. I tell Elliot what I saw, what I've heard over the comms, that we can track these guys. I think we've done an excellent job. We might even, request a bonus.
Oh, don't worry about UX3X. He's cool.
Okay. Well, yeah. And I think I radio back to KZ and Winger and say, hey, what'd you see while you were there?
What did you see, Winger?
Brains, droid brains, being
Okay.
kept running, power supplies, UPSs.
Are they going to wipe out the guys in uniforms? Who? I guess those
No,
were
they're losing.
private security, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, IA sec is all over them.
Oh, okay. I think I know what I'd like to do.
Mhm.
I'd like to roll sense to get a
Hmm.
feeling for our employer who wanted us to follow Zeldek.
Yeah.
To find out if he was sympathetic towards Zeldek or if
Hmm.
he was antagonistic. Because
Yeah.
if he
Cool.
was sympathetic, maybe we should help Rick out. If he was
Mhm.
antagonistic, whatever needs to happen needs to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
what do you think about this situation, Elliot? What's your response?
To the droid brains being so was it the guys in the black cars coming to take the droid brains back? Is that the right
Well,
Seems
assessment?
like it. They were
yeah.
at least they were like storming in weapons and just started firing at these droids.
Mhm.
You're not entirely sure, but I mean, you can hang around. Because it sounded like you didn't like take off right away.
Yeah, we're like
Uh,
on the way out, but like if we need
yeah,
to,
yeah.
I mean,
So
it sounds like someone fucked with someone heavy and got the wrong end of the stick. So
So what you see is as you're leaving, and I mean, you obviously have time to react to this. You see a couple of the guys in uniforms. They're dragging one of these big trunks out of the warehouse. There's still fire going on in there, and I'm going to make another roll for the droid. See how they do. They get a 6 this time. So I think like you're going around the block. So on the back side of the warehouse, you see Rick and this other droid. Like the other droid is just firing wildly with his blaster rifle as he's covering them. Rick is pulling the second trunk. So they have half the droid brains, and it seems like there's another speeder coming to that on the way, a speeder truck that's coming to pick them up.
do we think we should pick them up?
So sorry, Rook, you wanted to make your sense.
Oh,
yeah. Let me make a sense roll.
Cool.
And I'm not gonna add anything extra to this. I'm just gonna roll. My sense is 2.
This is more like a gather information thing, I feel like.
Yeah. So I got a
Uh,
6, and this is just thinking back to
Yeah.
our employer was that Kavi?
Yeah. Who works for your patron?
Right.
Um,
And I just
Got
wanted to
it.
get a feel, is this something that they would be sympathetic about and we should help them out? Are they trying to keep eyes on them? Or is this like, are they encroaching on our territory?
yeah. Sorry. So the one who gave you this job is Rax Stelek, your handler from the Office of Trade and Industry. So that's who you're
Oh, I
working
see.
for.
Oh,
Okay.
oh.
Okay.
So they might be
Sorry
with the
if that
guys
was
in the
unclear.
black trucks.
Okay.
But Ingix gave you some information on the smuggling thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely he was suspicious. Did not seem friendly. Not necessarily hostile, but it's like he definitely suspicious. He wanted to know what Zeldek was up to, what was going on, that sort of thing. Not it's definitely not, I want you to watch this guy because he's our guy and we want to know that he doesn't get into trouble. This is someone coming from the outside doing and acting suspiciously. We want to know what's going on. Does that make sense?
It does. Okay. I lean forward and I tell Elliot, I think we're off the clock here. I think we've got what we needed for the mission. What do you want to do about Rick? We pick him up? Or did they make their own world and plans with this? I'm
Do you
torn.
think we can get? Yeah. Do we think we can leverage it for money or influence?
Or do we think it's the right thing to do with our... Oh, I'm sorry, you're on mute, Anders.
Yeah. So Rick is loading the trunk up on this speeder truck that's coming to pick them up.
Oh, so they've got like a getaway already.
Yeah. So
Okay,
they are on their way out. You see a couple of the guys in uniform have reached the back of the warehouse. They're firing their iron guns, but the other droid, the protocol droid is keeping them well pinned with his blaster rifle. And there's a couple of other droids in the back of this speeder truck. They're also firing. They have like blaster pistols, but like the volume of fire is enough that the guards aren't going to catch up to them, and the droids are on their way out there.
I feel like we're getting paid by the guys shooting at the droids. So I don't know if we should interfere with that.
Yeah, but I mean, the droids.
They're hostages.
Yeah, I mean, okay. It doesn't feel right, but I think I'll do it. Okay, we should just go. Getting paid's important.
Can we at least help him get away?
It seems like they are on their way
Oh, okay.
out of there without being followed, and they are going north would be the direction.
Okay.
Ooh.
You were in the Warrens. They are going like shooting straight north. Whether they're going to another place in the Warrens, maybe in the Foundry or the Scrapyard, the Fringe, somewhere there. You don't know obviously where they're going. They are taking off.
Do we
That's
think it
more
would
of
be
a
useful to
rhetorical
follow
question.
that?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true.
Well, now that we have 2 vehicles, Elliot, you've commandeered this one. Then it'll be.
I've made an arrangement.
Yeah, I'm happy to drive you, but I'd like to stay out of the firefight if that's okay.
Well, you could always get shot here. and Elliot can drive. But with 2 vehicles, I think it'll be easier to follow them. And I like your idea, Elliot. Yeah, we should. I mean, our job was to follow him, and we followed him here. But I don't think we need. I think it's above and beyond to, to find out what they're doing at the new location. But at least tracking there and getting a hold of them would be important. Yeah.
That could be. We could say we can do that next for you if that's something you want to pay us for.
Right. The heat got hot. We weren't supposed to engage. We didn't. But this is kind of what things are. And if you want more, it's going to be extra.
Yep.
Perfect.
Cool. So I'd like to close out the mission with doing this tailing them. So let's get a roll for that. You could do this as a group action of some kind if you want to. You have the 2 vehicles, or you could just say, no, this is up to one of you doing one thing.
I mean, I can definitely do the hunt if we want to do that.
Prowl would be also a good option to remain unseen.
And
we all have prowl.
Cool. Let's do a prowl. Want to do a group prowl?
Group prowl. Who's
Group
leading?
prowl.
I'll lead. I'm the driver, and we're driving, so I
Go for
should
it.
lead. I'll eat all of the the badness.
Yeah. So Casey, you're kind of directing, like you're driving your speeder, and you're telling the like in communication with Elliot in the other speeder, tells the driver like go this way, that sort of thing. Cool.
I got a 6.
Damn it.
Nice.
Yay! I got a 4.
I also got a 6. Wow. So I think we got 1 fail. So it's 1 stress.
Nice.
I don't think I've successfully contributed to a group action yet.
There haven't been many. You're fine. Don't fret.
Yeah, and I think you have an excuse for being a bit stressed out after getting shot at. So.
Oh right, yeah, I got shrapnel in me.
Yeah, so
I'll feel that when the adrenaline goes away.
With a 6, you follow them. They are blasting as fast as this speeder truck will go through the warrens. They are into the scrapyard, and you follow them to like the northern edge of the scrapyard where it meets the fringe. And the fringe is this kind of ruined area near the Rand. The scrapyard is like minor industrial buildings, a lot of there's a lot of scroungers here who go out into the Rand and collect scrap. There's a lot of like recycling stuff. It's like a huge area of minor industry and workshops and that sort of thing. And people live here as well. So there's a lot of worn down buildings, like 2-story buildings. There's a workshop in bottom and people living on top of it. And it's pretty dark here. Like the Rand, there's no lights in the Rand other than what people rig for themselves. And the scrapyard is badly maintained, so there's not a lot of light here, and it's not a nice place exactly. But yeah, you follow them, and they drive into like half-ruined building on the edge of like the northern edge of the scrapyard. And with a 6, from what you can tell, this building it doesn't look like it's inhabited. So it's probably just a temporary location. Either they have another vehicle waiting there, or they're using the tunnels or some other way to continue somewhere else. Cool. So I think we'll end the mission there. We're at the hour, so we'll take a break. Cool. So the score is finished. You followed the droids to the northern end of the scrapyard, and you got them back home. You've made your report, everything of that. Is there anything you hold back from the report, or do you just this is what we saw, this is what went down?
I don't think the study of like the zoom enhance information is done yet. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think we can submit that.
Or just say that that's ongoing and we'll provide that for an additional fee, right? Or for continued jobs or for a favor or something. I certainly do not. We give them the information, but I certainly do not give them the this is how we did it. And the discussion that we had about like, should we go back and help them? You know, what do you think?
Yeah.
And all of
Right.
that. Leave all that stuff out.
Yeah. I mean, what he wants to know is, at first he just wants to know about Zeldek, but when I assume you mentioned that you followed the droid, this is what you saw.
And I have some unpleasant things to say about Gamorreans in my report as well.
Yeah, he does not seem to like Gamorreans either particularly, but you know, but yeah, he's genuinely surprised that the droid seems to be the one who was doing this.
Why are you surprised about that?
Yeah, and he gives you a look, and like looks down to your restraining bolt, and yes, well, droids usually don't take that kind of initiative.
Do you find that disarming, Elliot?
Plug off or put it on the other side. I guess most don't.
Well, you have done the New Republic a great service, and of course now you want to get paid. So this was a small job, which means normally you get 4 credits, but because you have a patron, they take a chunk. And in this case, it's just like, yeah, you get steady jobs, but you don't get paid as much. That's kind of how it works here. So you get 3 creds. And maybe if you manage to use some of this information to sell that, maybe you can get paid more later. But right now you're getting 3 credits. So I'll put that in your
Put it in the crew.
on your crew sheet, since it doesn't split evenly. That's assuming the droid gets paid, but you know.
Oh, the droid gets paid.
Cool. So heat and wanted level. I think you get like 1 heat of that. You had a little bit of exposure, like Elliot caused a little bit of a fuss at the fighting ring, and like Winger, you did get spotted, even if they can't identify you personally. There was some suspicion of stuff going on, but it's not up to like contained standard exposure. It's lower than this. It's not quite smooth and quiet, but almost. So I think 1 heat. Target is not high profile or well connected, so there's no extra for that. Action happened on hostile turn. Yeah, I think so. At least part of it. Like you were on the you had this street gang, the Red Stripes, who were you spent some time in their territory. So even if the whole job wasn't there, we'll go through this and maybe I'll adjust it later. But that brings you up to 2. You're not at war, and there was no killing involved here. So a total of 2 heat. Yeah, that feels fair. There was a firefight that you were peripherally part of. So yeah, 2 heat. I will add that 2 sheet. Next up is entanglements. I think well, actually, we can roll it. And maybe I'll give the details next session, depending what we get. So I roll a number of dice equal to your wanted level, which is 0. So I'll roll 2 dice and take the lowest. Oops, 5 dice, that's too many. 2 dice, take the lowest, that's a 2. So, and you have a heat of 0 to 3, so you have gang trouble or the usual suspect. Gang trouble, one of your gangs or other cohorts cause trouble, you don't have any. So that means it's the usual suspect, Corsac grab a friend, vice purveyor, or other person in the periphery of your crew. You can pay them off with 1 cred or make a fortune roll to see if they resist questioning. I think we'll play that out next session. I want to make something, or actually, no, I know exactly what happened. It's not Corsac, it's Industrial Automaton. They show up at, let me see who it was.
May I make a suggestion?
I was going to say it's Kavikas, but if you have someone else.
What if it was the cabbie?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Oh yeah. I don't think they're more just like a passing acquaintance. They're not really connected to you.
Okay.
But I think they show up at Kavikas, Casey's friend. She works with droids. There were stuff with droids going on here. So yeah, they are leaning on her. So you can bribe these guys with a cred, or we can make a roll for her and see if she spills anything. And she's just like a normal person, I think. So we roll 2 dice. Take the highest on a 1, 2, 3. 1 through 3, you get +2 heat. For a 5, she takes level 2 harm. On a 6, everything's fine. So, KZ?
Yeah, you want me to roll?
Yeah, unless you want to pay them off.
We didn't even all get paid 1 cred. We do not want to pay anyone off.
Cool, then make the roll. 2 dice.
A 3 and a 5.
So a 5. She's going to get beat up a bit.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. You could have prevented that, but you know.
I mean, really though, could I have? How much would it have cost? Just so you know, just so I know.
1 cred.
Oh, okay. Wow. If only I made more money. Oh, it's a government job. I can't help anybody.
It's rough out there.
It's rough out there. I'll help with her wounds and stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure that will be a great comfort to her. No, I mean, and in the fiction, this doesn't have to be that you knew you could have paid them off and you chose not to. This could be something you just find out.
Thank you.
Like mechanically, it's that way, but it doesn't have to be that way in the fiction.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
that. Cool. So that brings us into downtime and free play. So you each have 2 downtime actions. I'll go through them because it's been a while and I need to remind myself a bit. I've also added some notes on a few downtime actions that don't usually show up, but I was reading some stuff in the rule book, and they showed up there in various places. But you have acquire asset, which is just get something that can be useful for a job. You may want to do that, like if you when you know what your next job is. So if you save a downtime action for that, you can do that later. Long-term project is other stuff that you're doing that takes time. Recover is to heal harm, so that may be relevant to Winger. Roll some dice, pick your healing clock. When it fails, you reduce all your harm 1 level. Reduce heat to reduce heat. Train to gain XP. Indulge vice to reduce stress. Work a side gig will give you 1 stash, so that's money into your improving your lifestyle. Yeah. So does anyone know something they definitely want to do?
Yeah, I've got a few things figured out. I'll start with I'm gonna go visit the Mando enclave that we have.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna go pick up. I think there's sort of a government. What's the right word? A government assistant program for those that were harmed by the Empire. And they have government assistant checks equivalently that are going out. So this is I'm going to train. By training, this gets me my 5th XP under special abilities, and I'm going to take veteran military pension. Unless incarcerated or your wanted list level is 3+, you get a credit and a stash at the end of each downtime.
Ah,
so
nice.
this is the government thing that I'm getting. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. So you're using your status as a Mandalorian to get in on this program, essentially.
Exactly.
Cool.
As a veteran, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Anyone else?
I'm just gonna have to shut down for a bit to de-stress.
Yeah.
I have 2 and everything, so I guess that's just 2 dice.
Yeah. So, yeah. Take your lowest attribute, you have 2 in everything, you get the highest die result, which is a 4.
It's a 4.
And if that's more than the stress you have, then you're over and done. So that wasn't the case for you. Right?
Oh well.
Yeah.
You still have some stress left. Right?
Yeah, I got 1 stress.
Yeah. And to remind Stephen, you have a trauma, so if you don't recover stress, you will gain more stress.
I'm going to do the side job. I need to get out of that place I'm living in.
Cool.
And I guess train on. Do we have a bonus to certain kinds of training?
Yeah, you did pick one of those. So if you train insight or one of the when you train insight, you get 1 extra XP, and if you have fewer than 4 dots in insight actions, you get an additional XP.
No, I'm not at that part.
But you still get 2 instead of just 1.
If I do the insight, okay.
If you do insight, if you do something else, you just get 1.
Okay, I'll train an insight then.
So what is it you're getting up to here?
I think for the side gig, I'm going to like street vendors that are run by droids and like repairing them here and there. And for the training, I just imagine that's like just a lot of time spent with the trying to enhance that that photo. Unless that's not appropriate, but
I mean, it could also be when you're doing this side gig. I mean, you meet a lot of people, talk to them, that
sure.
sort of thing.
Yeah, actually, if I could do that, then I will, instead of putting it inside, I'll put it in Resolve because I have so little human or social interaction skills. So I'll put 1 XP into Resolve.
Cool.
Okay, that's me.
Yeah, I think I'm working a Uber side gig for some stash. Just ferrying people around. Nothing to see here. Better than Johnny Cab.
Or is it?
Oh, it is. Trust me.
Is it better or is it cheaper?
It's better. Look at my ride. It's way better.
It's a great truck.
I'm gonna leave you stranded. I tried to find a truck to come pick you up, but it turned out I didn't have a truck, and so you're carked. Sorry.
Well, Kark.
Any scenes you want to do with each other while we're doing downtime? Oh, sorry, I forgot one thing about the job. You should get your status adjustment. So you completed a job for the Office of Trade and Industry. That will give you a +1 with them. And I think it's Industrial Automaton, they don't really know that you were involved with this. I don't think that changes. I don't think anyone else knows either. So no, I don't think there are any other. Like you kept this very contained and quiet. Cool. Sorry, Kai, I interrupted.
Yeah, I think maybe I was working on like fine tuning or repairing wherever Elliot charges to its specifications. If that's okay with Mark. If it's in a place you don't want me to know about, then I understand. But
No, I think we're all good there.
okay. So I was thinking maybe you could it just a little, like, we don't have to play it out, but just like, so tell me about the boxing match, and because Winger's all into spectacle and stuff like that,
Yeah, I think Elliot's just like, it was pathetic. It was more pretend than actual combat. They just wrestled around, they grabbed each other, they showed off to the crowd. If someone was actually trying to kill them, it would have been a bloodbath.
Was there a story?
The story is that they were bad at fighting.
Okay. Sometimes they'll have like rivalries and scenarios and stuff.
I'm not sure Gamorreans have that depth.
Could be
They
a
were
job
wearing
or
pants at least.
could be an opportunity for someone to bring something to those Gamorreans.
I imagine they'd run out of competitors rather quickly.
Gamorreans versus droids?
It would be just droids after a while, I think.
I think that would get the Gamorreans very excited to try.
I know where it is. We can get in sometime.
I like the we part. Sounds good.
I'm sure they won't remember me.
If you didn't tell me what happened, then
Oh yeah, no, I
I'll-
definitely like describe everything that happened
oh. Well,
in plain detail.
I guess that could be fun too.
Maybe there could be some fighting outside of the ring.
Some real story, huh? That's all I got.
Nice.
That and Cart, KZ stare, cold stare at Winger.
Does anyone have medic capabilities? Awesome. So I'll come see you, Rook. Hey, I need your help. I can't pay. I got upkeep on the car.
You can always pay. You can pay in favors or
I'm paying in favors. I need your help.
yeah. What happened?
My girl got my friend. She got messed up. She didn't roll on us, and they roughed her up. I was thinking maybe if you could, we can make it a little better if we went and got her fixed up. What do you think?
Yeah, and she got insurance. That's a joke. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I used to work with Imperials, so they do have that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let's go see what we can do.
Okay. So we'll go hunt her down. Hunt her down.
Yeah. I mean, she's in her workshop. So level 2 harm. She's got like her arm in a sling, and she's being roughed up a bit. And she's kind of trying to clean things up in the workshop. It's been that's been tough.
Hey, Kavi. I can lift that. That's no problem. Here, let me grab that for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You know Rook, right? Practically a
Okay.
sister. She's great.
Yeah, she's a little not suspicious, but a little withdrawn. I would say. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, Brooke?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
We heard. Well, my man here heard KZ that one of his friends got hurt, and we wanted to see what we could do to help.
Yeah, it's those thugs from Industrial Automaton. They're always leaning on us, independent droid mechanics. It's but it's never been this bad. Usually they just show up and throw their weight around. This time, well, they threw me around instead.
Ooh. So I think I sit her down and say, let me take a look at your arm. And I'm gonna kind of feel it out. And I have more like field medic, whatever it would take to, get someone functioning and back on the battlefield again.
Yeah.
So it's, I think her arm's probably broken, and I think I said it. So she screams,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm like, okay, I think we need to you need to take some rest and everything. And KZ here, I'll watch your shop,
Sure.
and I'm going to take this advantage of this in order to indulge my vice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a couple of pills, right? And these are sort of like tranquilizers. They're street kind of stuff. And I give her
Yeah.
one, and then I hand her a beer, right? A lager. And I looked this up. I named a logger for Star Wars. It's called Desperate for Freedom, or DOF for short. Right. So I hand her a DOF, and it's got in big letters, in Arabic, DOF. And the intention here is that she's going to take a sedative that should just take the edge off, but because we're also drinking along with it, it's going to knock her out.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd take the same thing. I'm going to take I have this pill, and I'm like, what the hell? And I take one, and I have a drink, and we're going to get sloppy together. KZ, do you want one? I hand you a DOF.
Oh, thanks. No, I'm gonna wait. DOF, not pill. Just a beer. Is that what was handed? Is Rook's just offering a beer? He'll take a beer. He's not gonna get messed up because he's got to run the shop. He's running the shop.
I only
now.
have 2 of those, so.
Oh, okay.
Right
yeah,
now.
no, that's great. I didn't want it.
Okay.
I'm not hurt. So I'll drink the DOF. Thanks, man. Thanks.
You're too young to have been hurt yet.
Casey just takes that and doesn't show his scars. He's like, yep. Too young. Hey, you go ahead, rest and relax. I got this. Things
Cool.
okay.
So, Rook, give me, I think it's Tinker. Yeah, give me a Tinker roll to see how well you fix her.
Okay. So that's a 5.
Ooh. Yeah, so she's on her way to getting better.
I don't know how to frame that in the blaze in the dark vernacular, but that's a downtime action I would take.
To
Would that be heal a cohort?
Hey, there you go. Look, you made one, and you're the best.
I think this isn't. You don't need to do. Sorry, this thing that Rook did now, that doesn't take a downtime action because she's not part of the crew, so it's not like mechanically relevant what her condition is.
Okay, well, I was willing to do that, but cool.
Could you make her a part of the crew?
If you want to recruit her, you can do that. She would probably be a specialist. You would have to work at it a bit, either when you gain enough XP that you can pick something, then you can start to recruit her. Or if you work on it in the fiction enough, then
like a project,
a long-term project.
Yeah, for example. Yeah.
Let's do a project.
Cool.
I want to hear the pitch. So, like when you got beat up and your arm was broken, would you like to do more of that?
Actually, flip it. Hey,
If
you know how
closer, yeah.
You know how Industrial Automaton's security came in? Well, I'm working this gig with these guys who've got more connections. If you start helping us out a little more, like on a more official basis, I can start throwing my weight to give you a little bit more protection, because I hate what they did to you and I want to make sure it doesn't happen again. But I also got to pay bills.
Cool. Yeah, that works. Let's say that's I don't want to make this too difficult. Let me look at the thing.
I mean, a 6-tick clock is like 3 downtimes.
Yeah,
that's fine with me. Doesn't feel like it's too much.
No,
one of them could be this, right? This could be the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd love to roll on it.
Sure, you can use your second downtime action for that.
Okay. I'm now going to define project as recruit. Kavikas.
So pick an action, and I think you'll get an extra die from Rook helping heal her up.
Ooh, I'll take it.
Hardcore drugs.
I think I'm trying to sway her right now, even though it could technically be consort,
Hmm.
but I don't have consort, so
Yeah. So this is more like pitching and like trying to persuade her.
got a 5, which is
Two ticks, I think.
Yep, 2 ticks. I'll take it. Bloop bloop. I've already added the project clock and added my ticks. Thank you. That's fun for me. Like I really dig that.
Yeah. So, Steven, did you want to use that getting blasted on pills and beer to reduce stress, or was
Yeah,
that something?
yeah. I think this is indulging my vice of pleasure.
Cool.
And so I rolled the lowest of my stats, which I think is my insight at 1.
Yeah. So
I got a
one
2.
die.
So
Yeah,
that's 1
2
stress.
stress. Yeah.
Is it 1 stress?
2 stress.
Okay.
It's just the number on the highest stat.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So I think for pure downtime actions, Elliot still has one. You did a shutdown.
Yep. I think I'm also gonna find Rook, and my intention mechanically is to upgrade a weapon to a fine weapon, and I think that might be a project, or what however it works out, and just be like, hey, you know about this kind of thing, right?
I think you come across me in Kavi's
Yep.
shop, and
Mhm.
I'm a little bit unconscious,
Mhm.
and I think I kind of come to whenever you ask me, because meat bags are stupid, right?
Yeah.
And I know about this
Shake the
kind of
meat
thing.
bag a little bit.
That's right. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that for you. You want me to get started on that right now?
Are you capable?
I think Kavi has some good stuff here. Sure.
Then right now is good.
Cool. So what kind of weapon is it you want to upgrade?
Um,
Because I think this would have to be something specific.
yeah. Do I want to start simple with the blaster pistol? Or do I want to just go for the carbine? I think let's start with the blaster pistols. Like have them like just make them cooler. Pew pew pew.
Yeah, because right now what you have is like scrounged
Yeah,
gear.
I took it off the last guy I killed, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's for like mechanically all of your stuff is for all of you. If it isn't fine or has increased quality some other way, it's tier 0, which means
Mhm.
you have a penalty against pretty much everyone.
Yeah. So just like this blaster pistol, make it match my abilities.
So I think I go in and I start working on you first, right? And this feels really weird and a little bit vulnerable,
Mhm.
right? And you were like, no, blaster pistol. No. Here we go. And I'm gonna roll Tinker. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay. And do you want to help?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And I think what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to tie the blaster specifically into your targeting system,
Oh yeah,
so
matched
it
up.
fits a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've already got the targeting assistance thing, so I've got
Oh, do you? Oh,
upgraded targeting built into me.
nice.
So hooking it into my systems would definitely make that better.
Fantastic. So let me roll that. I have 2 in Tinker, and then the help is 1, so that's a 5.
Cool. So that's 2 ticks. I think this is probably also a 6 clock.
Cool.
And then I think while we're doing this, I say, well, you know, Elliot, if this is going to be like your pistol and not something we grabbed off the street, you've got to name it. What do you think you'll name it? So think about that.
Sorry,
Accessory
actually,
one.
I think this is just
gun.
a 4 o'clock.
That's just a 4 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I jumped in there. I just wanted to make sure we did that.
Cool.
KZ, I gave you 1 stash for your side gig as well. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so that's everything mechanically done. And we're close to the hour, so I say we do XP, stars and wishes, and then I will need to power down for a bit. Cool. So let's do crew XP first. Did you successfully complete the score? Yes, you did. Did you contend with challenges above your station? Yeah, you did that too. Did you live up to your reputation or use it to your advantage? And your reputation is ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because we
think
went
you
after
did.
the extra information, extra stuff that we can leverage later.
Looking for all the angles. Did you develop the inner life of the crew? Yeah, I think you did. We got some scenes of that in here. Did you develop the crew's relationship to other factions?
Only with the automaton group that now we're a little bit antagonistic with them, and we went to help Kavi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did a crew member make a sacrifice for the good of the crew?
Well, I mean, like KZ didn't have to go and help out, and Rook didn't have to go out and help Kavi, right? Like mechanically, you know, that wouldn't have doesn't necessarily do anything, right? But they sacrificed their downtime to work on it. I don't know. It just seemed like.
Yeah, I don't think that wasn't really a cost, especially if you turn it into like kind of a recruiting thing.
Got it.
Maybe you taking the shot there when you were trying to help the droids. I'm not sure. Do you think that? Do you feel like that was for the good of the crew? Like you took a risk there?
Well, when I like suss it out in my head as being like, well, if Rick gets away, then we get to have, more jobs based off of this, or we have those potentialities. There's that, but there's also just like he was upset with them having like droid hostages. So I don't know if it was selfish or not. So I didn't bring it up.
Cool. Maybe that will show up in your individual XP.
Okay.
Still getting 5 for the crew, which is enough for an advance. So that means you get to check 1 box. So that can get you one of the minor advances right away, or you'll be on your way towards something fancier.
Do we have to click towards the cohort so that when?
No, because when you're doing it, you're doing that as the project, so you're spending other resources on that. So you don't need to do that to get Kavi.
Okay.
And I think you don't necessarily have to decide this now, but if you have an idea, then something you
We could put a tick in training upgrades. under prowess.
That's not bad.
We could also get quality upgrades for our gear.
Mm.
Yeah, and to be clear there, when it says gear, that's all that's your equipment that is called something gear. So it's burglar gear, climbing gear, and
Okay.
surveillance gear.
Okay.
And then there's another one for tools and one for documents and supplies.
The chauffeurs thing is +1 cred for burglary and delivery scores, and +1 more if you have. Oh, those are for. Okay, those are for cohorts.
Yeah.
The broker, if we +1 cred for espionage and sabotage scores, might be.
Yeah, to get back that money we have to give away.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And well, pretty soon we'll have a suitable specialist, maybe.
Yay, suitable.
Yeah.
That's how I want to be described at work.
Yeah, you want to go for that? The broker?
Is that cool?
I like
Yeah, sure.
it. It kind of flows from the fiction, I think.
Yeah.
Or it can flow into new fiction pretty well. Like who is our broker, and what are they? What do they need? And it also gives us a person who can, when the heat gets high, we actually have an NPC that can be, roughed up against us.
Yep, yep.
The heat is on. It's on the streets.
Cool. So individual XP. Let's start with Winger then.
Loot. I like XP.
So did you bring your background into play, which is droid and labor?
The calling droids hostages and stuff like that, firing into them.
Yeah. Did your visor trauma hinder you? You don't have any trauma. Don't think you were hindered by your vice, maybe?
I mean, I made a conversation out of it with Elliot.
Yeah, but this is specifically hinder, I don't think.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
Did you develop your relationship with another character, PC or NPC? Definitely.
With Rook at the beginning, yeah. And with Elliot at the end.
Did you improve your personal situation? Yes.
Yes.
You worked your side gig, got some stuff.
Yeah, I got some stash.
Did you approach a problem with calculation or planning?
Yeah, because like Rook and I talked it out. Like at the beginning, I didn't just act on impulse or whatever. I feel like that was planning.
Yeah. That absolutely works. And I'm going to take the liberty of copying in the crew thing there. Oh, whoops. Did you approach a problem with deception or stealth?
I was hiding, yeah.
Yeah, you were definitely sneaking around.
Right.
Yeah, so that's 5 XP for you.
Damn.
Wow.
Cool. Elliot, you've already checked some stuff off here. Did you bring your configuration into play?
I believe I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Driver gets shot.
Yeah. Your visor falls didn't hinder you, I don't think.
No.
But you developed relationship with another PC. Bit. Did you improve your personal situation?
And if we count the progress towards the guns for that?
Sure. Yeah, I think that's right. Did you approach a problem by employing your specialized skills?
I don't think I did, no.
Did you approach a problem with deception or stealth?
No, not this time.
Cool. So that's 3 for you. Rook. Yeah, you want to go through them?
Yes. Did I
check
bring
this
my
out.
did I bring my background into play? And my background is military and labor, and I think I did.
Mhm. Yeah,
did
with the
I-
Mandalorians, definitely.
Did your vice or trauma hinder you? And I can't think of a case for that. My vice is pleasure, and my trauma is haunted. And I think, I definitely indulged my vice, but I don't think it actually caused any hindrance.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fine.
Maybe if I'd gotten into a bar brawl or messed up her shop or something, that would have done it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Did I develop my relationship with another PC or NPC? And I think so. I think we did that not just with Kavi and KZ, but also with Winger at the beginning. So yeah.
Yeah.
Did you improve your personal situation? We got paid, and I got my money from the Mando group.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Did you approach a problem with cunning or distrust? Well, absolutely. I mean, I think sneaking around and, putting a tracker in the car, which we need to follow up on.
Mhm.
I need to write that down so I remember it. And then
Yeah.
the crew is, did you approach a problem with deception or stealth? And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. That's 5 for you. So KZ, did you bring your background into play?
I don't know. There was a point where he said, "Do you don't have any scars?" And I said, I mentioned the Empire, working for the Empire a few times. I don't know if I brought it into play per se.
I think it showed up enough. You had that part. You asked Winger if he needed exfil, that sort of thing. I think it
Okay.
was present.
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
I don't think you were hindered by your vice. And you
I
don't
was
have-
not. Yeah, I don't even. I don't have a trauma, and I was not hindered by my vice.
Develop your relationship with another character.
Yeah, I think more Rook relationship stuff. Also had a few bits with Winger. We've set up this ongoing truck thing. It's cute. So I think yes, I hit that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you improve your personal situation.
Side gig.
Did you approach a problem with style or a devil-may-care attitude?
I don't think so. No.
You're pretty cautious.
Yeah, I gotta work on that.
Did you approach a problem with stealth or with deception or stealth?
Deception in the I'm the reason you got in trouble, but I'm recruiting you to tell you by telling you it's going to make you safer.
But
Yeah,
also
yeah,
the
absolutely.
trailing of the vehicles, right?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
that's
Flip
true.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stealthy.
Yeah.
What was the one before the crew one?
Devil may care, or doing something with style.
Would you telling Winger that you don't have a truck confer your style?
Yeah.
I think that's more like developing the relationship.
Okay.
It's not really approaching a problem with style.
Hmm.
Well,
Thank you,
I think
though.
from Casey's point of view, me calling the the vehicle a truck is a problem.
It's a problem.
It's a problem that'll solve itself.
Yeah, I put a little counter on my thing so I don't have to actually add up the XP when I check it. Yay! I'm lazy. Okay, so 7 XP total. Hooray.
7.
Ooh.
God
Well,
damn.
from last session, I had 3 that's unspent. So
Oh.
Okay, so you can definitely.
What did I do in my XP last session? I don't think I. Okay.
Not my problem, but you better spend it.
Okay.
You can do it.
Yeah, I know we did XP last session.
Yeah, but I didn't. I erased it at the beginning, thinking like, oh, it's a new session, but I didn't think about the fact that I hadn't
Okay.
spent it. So.
Well, it should be recorded in the video.
Yeah.
I'll look it up then.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that was XP. So stars and wishes. Let's start with wishes from Rich.
Okay. Is this a third full session? I think it is, right? Because I have.
We did character creation the first session. Then
Okay.
we've done two.
So, okay. Cool. Wishes from Rich. Excited about a new job. And my wish is for it to be a little less open to us making decisions, like task oriented, I guess. That'd be a wish. I haven't I haven't dialed in my character enough to be able to engage with that very well yet, which is a thing for me. That's a wish for me.
Yeah. Cool. So more clear parameters for the job, like go here, do this thing, more than just take care of this.
Yeah, I'd like a mix of it, like some stuff that's open-ended and we could take it where we want and it hints towards something deeper, which is what it feels like we just did, and other things that is just like pretty clear, even if there are, because we're spies, there are
Yeah.
other
There can be
layers.
complications, but yeah, cool. I put that as not all jobs be open-ended. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any other wishes?
I mentioned it, develop more of what Casey's approach about, like how wide is he get engaged. Right now he's very much a jobber, and I don't know if that's super interesting. So that's a wish for me, is to tweak that, play with it.
Yeah. Steven.
I want to see more outcome from the tracker that we put on the vehicle.
Yeah.
And figure out exactly what's going on with autonomous systems.
Cool.
As well as the intel that we have from Winger's research.
Yeah. Cool. Mark.
Yeah. Wishes, get my sweet gun done. Get a job where I can be a little bit more heavy-handed with my abilities. I want to get a fault so I can get a little bit more personality and XP. I like my driver guy, and I might want to try to recruit him later on, but that's a longer term wish. Yeah, and then just more one-on-one interactions with the crew.
Cool. Can I ask you to name the driver, maybe find a pic for him?
He's
you don't have to do that right now. Just
already there.
Okay, cool.
UX3X B105.
Excellent. Nice.
Where is he? Where is he?
B105.
Oh, I thought that was part of his name.
Me too.
UX3X B105.
Oh, he looks like Rocket
That's
Man.
so
That's
racist.
Adorable.
It's like, oh, surely that's part of his name.
I just put in Star Wars Johnny Cab in Midjourney, and that was
That's Midjourney rocked it. Good job, Midjourney.
Cool. Yeah, Kai.
I want to go back to the hotel where we set up all of that surveillance gear. And basically tell my front desk guy, like, hey, like when I was doing my job here, I saw that some people had set up that room. And I was thinking that you could make some money if you know, if you put important people in that room and then let us use that gear in the room next to it and just see if I can't convince, I don't know how it's going to work. Like, if I need to make a roll or whatever, but like, that's something I would like to do. I'd like to approach them and say like, hey, can we leave this as a permanent setup? And then, you know, you tell us if somebody important's come in or something like that. The wishes. I want to have a scene where I meet someone that I'm either trying to have a relationship with or I have a relationship with that isn't like part of the job. I don't have an answer to what that is, but if we could work towards that in future sessions, that'd be great.
Cool. Cool. For me,
Drewer, that was his name, Drewer.
For me, I don't think I have any wishes right now. So I will go to stars. This was fun, as always. There was one thing. Oh, I should have made a note of it. But yeah, I like all the little character moments. All the scenes we did here during downtime was really nice. I like that we get those in. I think hopefully I would like to start the next session with doing a bit more of that. We will. I have a question before I go on. You'll get a new job next session, of course. Do you want another mission from your patron, or do you want to do something more freelance? What are you more interested in? Because we could
still
set
getting
up
missions from the
something with
patron. Yeah. I mean, we're paying them. We might as well use them, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I don't think we've established like who might come to us with a job yet. So I would stick with who we've got until.
I'm still trying to figure out what they want and what they're interested in. So I'm quite intrigued by our bosses.
Yeah. So I'd like to start the next session with a bit more. You will be doing some legwork for the next job, but I'd like to do some character scenes then as well. I guess that's my wish. Unfortunately, I can probably arrange for that all by myself. So. Cool. I'm getting a bit slow in the head right now, so I'll just move on to Kai for stars.
I thought it was a great session too. You really delivered on the wish I had for what was in the box. So thank you for that. I really liked being like naive versus Rook's like much more jaded experience. I don't know, when we got together for in the car for the truck for the debrief or whatever, I don't know, I still felt like a little kid being like, hey, can we do that? And everybody, the adults in the room are having their conversations and stuff like that. So I like that. So stars all y'all. And especially like the conversation about the Gaborian fight and all. I like that too.
Cool, thank you. Mark.
I really enjoyed all the little character moments. That was really fun. I'm really enjoying the like as always the just the little bits of the world being revealed and slowly coming together to kind of like slowly bring this picture into focus, which is really cool. Everyone's doing their thing. I'm loving it. So yeah, that's just general good vibes.
Oh, thank you. Stephen.
I really liked how this session was set up. This mission was set up with, this is a stealth mission, and it was played out just like a stealth mission. I don't know if it's because we're too scared because we're too weak to get into fights, but we totally did a successful mission with very little violence, which when we went back through the heat stuff, that made a lot of sense. And I'm like, oh, that's the kind of crew that we are. That I thought that fit together really well. Another story that I had was I looked up like what kind of alcoholic beverage would you drink in Star Wars, and a lot of stuff that came up was stuff that you would get from like Galaxy's Edge or something like that.
Mhm.
But one of the things that popped up was I've been seeing a lot of things now about
So
this.
crystal.
Exactly. And if you all haven't seen that, you should check that out. I'd put a link in
Yeah. That's what Kai linked to in the
Slack.
Maybe that's where I've seen it in multiple places now, but
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's very good.
Well, the one that Stephen Colbert added for Indiana Jones, where the Nazis' faces melt off because they look into the Ark of the Christ or whatever.
Oh,
Covenant,
Cool.
Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah. Any more stars, Stephen?
no, I think that's it. Thank you.
Cool. Rich.
Really enjoyed the follow-up. I felt guilty being miserly and getting Kavikas hurt. Rich do. I'm not sure how guilty Casey is, but I really love the follow-on effects of it. Rook coming to help. Elias showing up and like rummaging around. That was neat. I like the idea of that being a chrysalis point, like a point where Kavikas becomes eventually a cohort part of the crew. Very fun. I loved the like I guess it was clock, but like the two speeders showing up, the people with ion guns coming out, like that escalation and movement of things to hurry the hell up was really great. That's the kind of stuff I love seeing GMs do. Is it doesn't all just come on you like just splat out of nowhere. It's yup, you guys are working real hard to know what's coming. Guess what is coming, and now they're acting on their thing. What do you do? It just that's some of my favorite parts of games, especially this approach for the job. So that was fun, and the moral quandary of like, are they the hostages? And like, I also really enjoyed. I don't know if any of you guys watched Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, but they had a like fantastic threat of a bunch of people cyber brains being wired together for networking that was sad and scary at the same time, because they were people who were going senile in old folks' homes, and they just basically like grouped up their brains for a mega supercomputer brain that was doing crazy stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, a bunch of droids that are like hot wired together doing stuff. That was really fascinating. And I love the twist, Anish, of like we're following a dude and actually the droid's running. That's last session, but like carrying it, following on and seeing what's up and seeing this whole industrial automaton security versus this droids right stuff. It's messy and it's super interesting. So it was a good payoff. Is my biggest star. I love seeing KZ and Rook's relationship together, like as how they work together. Like they don't have a relationship, but Rook's the kind of person like, yeah, sure, I'll help heal your person. We're going to get high. Go watch the front. I'm going to pass out that stuff. And the burgeoning winger antagonism, as in deriding the one thing that matters to KZ. We'll see how that goes. I mean, you are short, so maybe KZ beats you up. Well, that could be weird, and I hope that it doesn't get there. It probably won't. I mean, we work together, and I'm a jobber. I'm used to working with Imperials who say terrible things all the time. You calling my beautiful, beautiful vehicle a truck is the least of my worries. Elliot's description of the Gamorrean stuff was great. I've never been sad for Gamorreans before, but I felt bad for those Gamorreans getting housed. They were getting trashed, man. No love from my Gamorrean orc life. Okay, that's it. That's my stars.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I think we're done for today. Next session, like I said, we'll do some character scenes, legwork for the new job, and presumably we will actually get into the job as well. I don't think we'll spend a whole session.
One last thing.
Yeah.
I think I forgot to bring it up, but I wanted to bring it up now, and hopefully I'll
Yeah,
remember to bring it up. But I think Winger is suspicious of the IA group showing up precisely where they needed to be in terms of the fact that I think that we were being tracked to sell that information to IA. So just a little bit of paranoia in there. So
yeah, and we will follow up on the tracker in the speeder and the data you got from the droid brain image as well.
key.
I have one more longer term wish, I think.
Yeah.
I was thinking about when we're doing downtime. That's harder to do earlier on, but getting details about the job before we do downtime so we can maybe pick up assets that relate to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's for later.
Yeah. And that's something I want to do as well.
Did all 3 cred we earned go into? Yeah, it's all in the shadows, right? It's all in the crew.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
I will note that you do get an additional downtime action when you're working a job that fits one of your favorite methods. So if you're doing delivery or espionage, you will get an extra
awesome.
downtime. But yeah, I intend to do that now. I didn't know how things would turn out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cool. I think we'll end it here. See you all next week.
See you next time.
Bye.